Another trending story connected to Donald Trump. Okay, look at Elena Delle Donne takes on a new role as USA Basketball's first 3-on-3 women's hoops managing director. Come on, man. Delle Donne, like Donald Trump. You get the USA connection with the President of the United States. Come on, man. Give me a break, right? Former WNBAer here. I just finished recording the Joe Burrow decode. Watch that. A bunch of threes, a bunch of 33s, even a 303 like 3. Go check that video out. Now we get 3-on-3. Remember Trump's ear with that script and that attempt to get him out of here. Remember that was on the 13th day of the 7th month. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Okay, so new managing director. Their first 3-on-3 women's hoops managing director. You see that? I don't even like deep dive into these stories. So what, they do a 3-on-3? I see Dawn. Look at that. Let's play this. Maybe. We might play this if it pops up. Or not. There it is right there. It's probably going to glitch. So maybe we won't play this video right now. Okay? Maybe we'll come back to it. So look at those connections right there. So it's one thing that you got the name Dawn. You can see how Donald John Trump syncs up with basketball in the language. 185 and 68. Okay. Look at that. Even Donald John Trump has the 220, which is like 22, basketball 22, USA 22. You see that? It'd be nice if that video played, huh? It just won't right now. That's okay. But isn't that wild? Even Donald John Trump has the 220 like 22. And so I mean, if this would happen to reach random people out there who are into decodes, hello, welcome. But we know that's not how it works, right? So I just have to randomly just put that energy out there. Not so random. This stuff all starts with the language. Okay, so Donald Trump is all over the news. You know, you're going to see a lot of deaths connected to him. Not like, I'm not saying personally or stories of him with those deaths, but it's going to be by the numbers and by the language. That's what I'm saying, okay? Here's an example, kind of like when Phil Donahue died, right? So you're going to get all of these stories. Remember, Luke Donald was just trending, the golfer talking about Donald Trump, right? Remember, he was serving fries at McDonald's. That's what I'm speaking of here. So now you get this former WNBAer Delle Donne trending. Look at managing director right there. Okay? 158 and 86. Well, 158 is like 185. 86 is like 68. You see that? 185, 68, 158, 86. A managing director for USA Basketball is responsible for selecting the coaching staff and players for major international competitions, such as the Olympic Games and the FIBA World Cup. Even Delle Donne, they'll call her Delle Donne. To me, it kind of looks like a middle name and a last name, but they refer to her as Delle Donne. Maybe it's two last names, I don't know. But since they'll refer to her as Delle Donne, I can. And Delle Donne equals 45 and 45. That's two base ciphers. Trump's the 45th and 47th president. So you get 45. Mystics was one of her teams she played for in the WNBA. Mystics has the 45. The other team, the Chicago Sky. Look at those 45s. Of course, her birthday was a few days ago. On 9/5, Washington Mystics equals 95. Washington's got 50 like Donald. And Elena Delle Donne has always been intrigued by 3-on-3 basketball since the sport entered Olympic play in 2021. Notice how she's got 11 on the Mystics jersey right there. When DC equals 11. There's that Trump connection. Okay? DC, political connection with Trump. Right? Think about it. Even DC, you get D like Donald. It's an 11-day span from Delle Donne's birthday to this story from start to end, September 15th. Look at that. 11-day span, 11 on the jersey, DC equals 11. Even Chicago Sky 101 like 11. The other team that she played for. Chicago Sky's got 47. Remember Trump, the 47th president, along with the 45th. Trump equals 47. President equals 47. Republican, Democrat, government, White House. President, government, and White House also equal 52, like Chicago Sky. And president equals 110 also, which is like 11. Like 101, like 11. You see that? It would be nice if that video played. Let me work some screen recorder magic here and let's see if we can get this video to play. Let's try this one more time. Still not gonna work. All right, so it's just not gonna work. It's all good. Whatever, right? We don't need it. Okay, so let's catch back up to where we were. You know, maybe something else will kick in as we scroll. You know, this is a hobby. It takes time. It's definitely this is a nice hobby to have. You know, beats just doing drugs and doom scrolling. I still get my doom scrolling in. But come on, man, the birthday, September 5th, that was a big day right there. You know, 11-day span, we hit on that. So, you know, you get anything DC related. You could even get like the Washington Wizards with the NBA. You're going to get all these political connections. You know, even Michael Jordan retired with the Wizards. You know, Republicans buy shoes too. Remember that? Quote from Jordan. Jordan played for the Bulls. That's interesting because that's the Chicago Bulls, and Delle Donne played for the Chicago Sky as well. And we'll see at the end. I think Washington Mystics even equals 238, like Michael Jordan. You know, the Bulls wear red. You know, Republican red, even, right? So interesting. You get that Chicago connection on the fly. Chicago Sky, Michael Air Jordan. Right? And we can go deeper on that. But Elena Delle Donne has 127. Just did the Joe Burrow decode. Injured. Joe Burrow, 127. like Elena Delle Donne. Look at that. Assassinate 127 with the Charlie Kirk story, guy we never heard of until the assassination. Now they say he's a big deal. Luke Donald, I think I mentioned earlier, with the 127 birthday. December 7. And, the 9/11 anniversary, buildings 1, 2, and 7 crumbled. Anthony Rizzo just retired as a Chicago Cub, but his last team was the Yankees he played for. Most success with the Cubs. Or, he became a star with the Cubs. Retires as a member of New York, his final team, the Yankees. Obviously, 9/11 was in New York. We just passed that 9/11 anniversary. Buildings 1, 2, and 7 crumble. He even played in 1,727 games. So you get that 127 in there. Right? Bam. Easy money. There's that 238. Washington Mystics 238 and 76. Michael Jordan equals 238 and 76. Delle Donne's birthday, the 5th day of the 9th month, Michael Jordan equals 59. So you can see how this is all with the language here. And it seems like we get Michael Jordan energy with Donald Trump energy, and it's like all in one. That seems to keep happening. Even DC look equals 7 and 7, and United States equals 77. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna see multiple numbers in here that may mean something, right? As I'm seeing, I could mention something probably with all of these right here. But yeah, look at that, man. Okay, so this new role for Elena Delle Donne, USA Basketball's first 3-on-3 women's hoop managing director. And you could see how once again Donald Trump connects to another character. She played college basketball for the Delaware Blue Hens. Didn't Joe Biden? I think Joe Biden also moved him and his family to Delaware. Born in Pennsylvania, and I think they moved to Delaware. Delaware D. Delle Donne DD. Also, look at that. So yeah, let's just put her college team in here. 88 like Trump. See that right there? Delaware Blue Hens, 88 like Trump. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? You can see the fake world. You can see the fake world, can't you? She spent the last few months learning about the sport, going to a training camp in Phoenix, and then taking in a tournament in Edmonton, Canada. That's when she got hooked by it. I would have loved to play it, she said. It's my type of game with the versatility of it. I would have fit well. Now I know what I'm looking for in different players. From being an Olympic and World Cup gold medalist to WNBA champion, MVP, and 7-time WNBA All-Star, Elena brings an impressive basketball pedigree to this role. USA Basketball CEO Jim Tooley said, Elena has been a member of the USA Basketball family for almost 15 years. When did she retire? 4/4/25. There's that 4/4. After not playing during the 24 season due to injuries. WNBA championship with the Mystics in 2019. Two-time WNBA MVP. How many teams did Elena Delle Donne play for? Okay, so it's the Sky and the Mystics. That's my breakdown, and the video still won't play. Elena Delle Donne takes on a new role as USA Basketball's first 3-on-3 women's hoops managing director. Appreciate being the opportunity to do this. I appreciate it. When I first got into stuff like this, never thought I would actually be able to make videos, but you know, even not being able to actually reach people, that is kind of um that I can't think of the right word right now, but it's kind of disappointing that we can't get this stuff out to the real people in a fake world. Until next time, though, peace, positive vibes.